Welcome to episode 398, Steve Ballmer, 10 Lessons. This is an outline of episode 398, lesson 1 to lesson 5. This is an outline of episode 398, lesson 6 to lesson 10. Lesson number 1, he's the richest non-founder CEO in the world, with a net worth of almost $42 billion in 2018. He holds the world record. Lesson number 2, he does not always believe in Microsoft. In 1981, he owned 8% of Microsoft stock. In 2003, he sold half of his stocks and ended up with 4% of Microsoft stocks.
A fair bit as a result. You're the biggest individual shareholder of Microsoft, is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
So how come you didn't sell more shares? Because Bill Gates and Paul Allen have sold a large part of their shares.
Well, when I was CEO, I just didn't think it was right. I ran the company. If I didn't believe, and people knew I already had enough money, I should stay invested.
Lesson number 3, he chose the genius successor, Satya Nadella. In 4 years as CEO, Microsoft stock tripled under Nadella. Lesson number 4, from shy kid to the most vocal and animated CEO.
How do you go from a shy kid to someone who can go out in front of people and do that?
The defining thing for me, when I was in college, I was the a manager for the football team. The manager had to get up in front of the team every day and say, hey, listen up a minute, I've got announcements. At the end of 2 seasons, I got so I could actually talk in front of 100 guys who didn't want to listen to me.
Lesson number 5, he's the most profitable CEO of all time. Some estimates that he had made Microsoft more than $100 billion profit in his 14 years as CEO.
Should Microsoft have a position in the phone business? Yes. The 2 most profitable companies. We were the #1 most profitable company in our business for a long time. Right.
Lesson number 6, he almost bought Facebook.
Well, you made another investment at a time that was actually criticized. It was an investment in a company called Facebook. I think you invested about $300 million or so. And why did you do that? And did you regret not trying to buy the whole company?
I did try to buy the whole thing. Zuckerberg came up to Seattle. We met down there. I put a concrete financial offer on the table. But it's a little, Ross Perot tried to buy Microsoft from Bill Gates in like '79, and Bill said no. Founders really have a lot of love and passion around their stuff, and even though Facebook was tiny, I think it was 2009, and I offered, I don't know, $20+ billion, something like that, and Mark had absolutely no interest.
Lesson number 7, there are 2 parts of leadership.
What would you say is the most important characteristic to be a good leader?
Commitment. You really have to have your head in the game and be committed to be a good leader. There's 2 parts of leadership. One is leading people, and that's about commitment and people understanding you have commitment. The other part of leadership, which doesn't get talked about much, is you have to be a leader of ideas. The worst thing you can do, both for your people in general, is to say, let's go! And you point that way, and the truth is you should have gone that way. So leaders have to be leaders of ideas. The ideas compel the people, but then the ideas have to be right, and you have to stay committed.
Lesson number 8, he loves numbers.
I am a numbers guy. Numbers. I love numbers. To some people, numbers are confusing and crazy and not helpful. Just sort of a mess. For me, numbers are a tool to tell a story, to bring things together in ways that are more precise, has more context, has more clarity than you'll find any other way. Numbers add to the discussion. They take a collage of mess and turn it into something that helps you see the playing field of a complex problem.
Lesson number 9, Ballmer on Amazon. From one-trick pony to admiration. Steve Ballmer once said Amazon is a one-trick pony, and it would be hard for Amazon to come up with a second trick.
What do you make of the increasing Amazon empire, getting into groceries, voice assistants and all that?
I would say I have a lot of admiration When I was running Microsoft and we were competing every day, I couldn't. What they've done is kind of cool, marvel, and in admiration for what they're doing.
Lesson number 10, his greatest contribution. Democratize the computer for everyone.
If 20 years from today or 25 years from today, you're looking back on your life, what would you want people to say was your legacy, what you contributed to our country?
Number one, hey, we democratized computing. And putting that kind of power and capability for people to thrive, to investigate, to be smarter, to create more, I feel immense pride about that.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and leave your questions and comments below. Wishing everyone peace and prosperity.